Welcome to TeenyCast Animation. 6 powerful signs God is restoring all your wasted years behind the scene. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a season of waiting, wondering if God is really at work in your life? Maybe you're calling it wasted years, but let me tell you this, nothing is wasted in God's hands. In today's video, we're uncovering 6 powerful signs that prove God is moving behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. These are the signs that can turn frustration into faith and hopelessness into hope. So, if you've been feeling discouraged, stay with me as we dive deep into these life-changing truths. And before we get started, don't forget to support this channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. Let's spread the hope of restoration together. What kind of life am I living? What didn't I do right? What a wasted year. What is happening to my dreams? Thank you for staying with me. Have you ever looked back on the years and felt like they were completely wasted? Like all your plans, dreams, aspirations, and efforts fell apart, leaving you with nothing but regret? What if I told you that those years weren't really wasted but were part of a divine plan, preparing you for a miraculous comeback? In just a few moments, I'm going to share 6 powerful signs that God is about to restore everything you thought you had lost. These signs are not just ordinary, they are life-changing. When you understand them, you'll realize your restoration is much closer than you think. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could hold the key to turning your life around. The first sign that God is about to restore your wasted years is this. Sign number 1, an unexplainable peace in the midst of chaos. You experience an unexplainable peace in the midst of chaos. In the chaos of life, God's peace stands as an anchor. As Philippians 4:7 declares, it is a peace that surpasses all understanding, guarding our hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Like when Jesus calmed the storm in Mark 4:39 with the words, "Peace, be still," he was asleep in peace while the sea was raging and the disciples were in great panic. His peace transforms not just our circumstances but begins within us. True restoration starts in the heart and mind. Finances, circumstances, and outward situations are secondary, for the spiritual realm governs the physical. The world may not comprehend such peace, but it is the foundation upon which God rebuilds lives. When your mind is renewed and your spirit is aligned with Him, every other blessing will follow. Trust Him, for His peace is the evidence of His presence and His promise of restoration. He is not only going to calm your chaos circumstances around you but turn it to a miracle of blessings. Sign number 2. The door of opportunities begins to open effortlessly. When God initiates restoration in your life, another unmistakable sign is the opening of doors you never sought. Opportunities will arise in unexpected ways, far beyond your imagination, bringing fulfillment, influence, and favor that only God can orchestrate. Consider Joseph's story in Genesis 41:14-16. In a moment, he was called from the prison to stand before Pharaoh. Without effort on his part, Joseph went from being a forgotten prisoner to the second in command of Egypt. God's favor positioned him for influence and authority, fulfilling the purpose he had long prepared. Another example is found in Isaiah 22:22. I will place on his shoulder the key to the house of David. What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. When God opens doors in your life, no opposition or human effort can prevent them from remaining open. This divine restoration is not by human striving, but by God's power and timing. These opportunities align with His purpose for your life, bringing not only success, but also fulfillment and kingdom influence. Stay faithful and prepared, for when the time is right, God's favor will propel you to heights you could never reach on your own. Trust in His process, and watch as He opens doors beyond your imagination. When you begin to experience this, know God has begun to restore your wasted years. Sign number 3, the alignment of divine connections. When God begins the work of restoration in your life, one of the signs is the alignment of divine connections. God often works through people to bring favor and open doors of opportunity, rather than simply walking you through your circumstances. These are not casual acquaintances but individuals strategically positioned by God to help move you into the next season of your destiny. Divine connections are not coincidental. These individuals often come from unexpected places, helpers and partners who see areas of mutual benefit without requiring any effort or struggle on your part. Such connections exemplify God's providence, as seen in the relationship between David and Jonathan. 1 Samuel 18, 1-4. Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. Jonathan was divinely sent to support David, offering protection, encouragement, and companionship during a season of danger and uncertainty. Without Jonathan's support and help, he may have not survived, let all become king. These connections often come when you feel forgotten, lonely, or lost, serving as reminders of God's active involvement in your life. When the time is right, God begins restoring your wasted years. He sends people to favor you, telling you that you're not alone. Another example is that of Elijah and the widow of Zarephath. 1 Kings 17, 8-16. God directed Elijah to the widow of Zarephath, who provided for him during a famine. This connection was a demonstration of divine alignment, as it not only sustained Elijah, but also brought provision and blessing to the widow. Moses and Jethro, Exodus 18:17-24. Jethro's wise counsel helped Moses establish a more effective system of leadership, alleviating his burden and strengthening his ability to lead Israel. This was a God-ordained connection that brought mutual benefit and lasting impact. Trust that God is working behind the scenes to align the right people, at the right time, to guide and support you into the next season of His divine plan. Sign number 4. A renewed sense of clarity and purpose. A renewed sense of clarity and purpose is often a sign that God is restoring the years you feel were wasted. When you suddenly experience clear direction and a deeper understanding of your purpose, it signifies that God is aligning your life with His divine plan. You may have struggled for years, feeling lost and confused, striving without success. Yet, one of the key signs of God's restoration is the gift of new vision and direction. This shift marks the beginning of His redemption of your time, preparing you for a season of greatness and fulfillment. Consider the story of Moses. For 40 years, Moses lived in the wilderness, seemingly without purpose. Then, in Exodus 3, he encountered the burning bush, a moment of divine clarity. God gave Moses a clear mandate. Now go, for I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people Israel out of Egypt. Exodus 3:10. What seemed like wasted years in the desert was actually a time of preparation for Moses' destiny. In the same way, sudden clarity and direction in your life are powerful signs that God is at work, restoring what was lost and redeeming the time. As promised in Joel 2:25, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. Trust in His perfect timing and plan, for He makes all things new. 2 Corinthians 5:17. When you begin to experience this sign, know God is about restoring the years you thought you've wasted. Sign number 5. When obstacles that stood against you begins to disappear suddenly. When the obstacles that once stood against you suddenly disappear, and you experience unexpected freedom from past limitations, and have renewed energies to pursue your goals, know that God has begun to restore the years that seemed wasted. When barriers that seemed insurmountable start to crumble effortlessly, they're not mere coincidence but part of divine plans of God to remove them out for your new blessings and fulfillment of God's promises. Like the walls of Jericho that fell at the sound of trumpets, Joshua 6:20, it is a sign that God's appointed time has come. When divine helpers appear to solve long-standing problems, or a broken relationship on the brink of collapse is miraculously restored, recognize that God is working behind the scenes. He is clearing the path for your blessings and opportunities to manifest effortlessly. As it is written in Joel 2:25, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. God's restoration goes beyond the natural. He redeems time, rebuilding what was lost and bringing forth new opportunities. Trust in His perfect timing, for He is making all things new. 2 Corinthians 5:17, and aligning every detail for His glory in your life. When this sign happens in your life, know God is working behind the scene, taking out things that previously stopped your glory and progress to give you accelerated progress. The last sign of God restoring your wasted years is sign number 6. When you experience restoration of lost time and resources. The restoration of time and resources is a profound sign of God's divine presence and power to redeem what was seemingly lost or unredeemable. This restoration is not just a return of what was taken but a multiplication that propels you to where you are meant to be, so much so that the pain of the lost years fades quickly. God has the ability to restore all that was lost and accelerate your progress, compensating for wasted time and resources when you surrender to Him. As seen in Job 42, 10. After Job endured unimaginable trials, losing his children, wealth, and health, he remained faithful to God. In the end, God restored twice as much as Job had before, demonstrating his unmatched ability to not only compensate, but to exceed expectations with abundance and generosity. This restoration comes effortlessly, advancing your goals and purpose. It is a comprehensive renewal that touches every area of life: relationships, health, emotions, wisdom, and understanding. It enables you to learn from past experiences, avoid previous mistakes, and steward your new blessings effectively. When you see resources multiplying, relationships healing, wisdom increasing, and opportunities aligning to accelerate your progress, recognize it as a sign of God's restorative power and His faithfulness to fulfill His promises. Joel 2:25-26. God works in abundance and restores not only what was lost but provides exceedingly and abundantly beyond what you can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. These 6 signs are master keys, signaling that you are nearing your season of restoration. Pay attention to these signs, knowing that the years you thought were wasted were actually part of God's divine plan for your accelerated restoration. Understand these signs and do not be ignorant of God's divine timing. May God bless you and restore to you the season you have been waiting for. Thank you for your support. If you've been blessed by this, please support us by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing to others. Till we come your way again, God bless you for your support.